Hello loving viewers and welcome to Animal World, our co-inhabitants. On today's program, we examine the deeply emotional world of farm animals as studied by Dr. Jeffrey Mason, an author from the U.S., who has spent almost 2 decades researching and describing the fears, loves, and sorrows of our animal co-inhabitants. We now present an excerpt from a documentary produced by Animal Place entitled The Emotional World of Farm Animals.
They number more than 1 billion in the U.S. alone, each with its own personality and its own sense of being. We see them in every state, every city, and practically every town in America. And yet, for all intents and purposes, they remain an enigma to us. They are the farm animals: cows, pigs, sheep, chickens, and turkeys. They are the animals we use for meat, yet seldom get to meet. Animals, we are now discovering, lead rich and complex emotional lives. Join us on one man's journey, a voyage of discovery into the emotional world of farm animals. Jeffrey Mason is a former psychoanalyst who, nearly 2 decades ago, turned his attentions to writing about the emotions of non-human animals. His New York Times best-selling book, When Elephants Weep, established undeniably that wild animals from all corners of the globe lead lives that are filled with a complex array of emotions, many similar to our own. Challenged by his publisher, Random House, to go where no one had gone before, to research and write a popular book about the emotions of farm animals, he set out on a quest that would take him around the world and to 12 countries. Yet his first stop was a sanctuary for farm animals in Vacaville, California, less than 100 miles from his Berkeley home.
Come on, sweetie.
Kim Sturla is the co-founder of Animal Place.
Kim, this is a beautiful place.
Thank you. It is, and especially this time of year when it's so green, it's just it's gorgeous.
Wonderful. So do you mean to tell me that all the animals here have been rescued?
Each one has really come from, different situations, some auction yards, actually some from research laboratories. And every animal, there was nowhere else for them to go, so we're really kind of their last resort here.
So you would say that every animal here has had some history of personal abuse?
Most of the animals here, if not all, have had a real tough beginning, and it's just that much more important that once they get to Animal Place that we try to provide them with a secure, loving environment where they're going to live out the rest of their lives. Can you tell they've been abused in the way they react to you, or does it differ for each and every animal? Each and every one. Venus, one of the pigs, she was terribly abused, and we got her as an adult. It has taken her years. She's about 13 years old now, and
wow.
Only the past couple of years will she actually let me pet her and be
So
relaxed.
it's a question of trust.
It's all about trust.
Do you think she looks at you and thinks, I don't trust this species, but this woman, Kim, she seems okay? Do you think they have thought processes like that?
My gosh, without a doubt.
Obviously, I wouldn't need to convince you that these farm animals have emotions.
There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that those animals have a wide array of emotions, very similar to dogs and cats. By the mailbox.
As a seasoned author with 24 books to his credit, Jeffrey knows full well that you can't write about the emotions of any animal until you first meet and get to know them. His first farm animal experience, Val and Susie.
Hello, sweetie girl. And they don't have tusks.
Oh, the males do.
The males do.
Huh?
Are the males different than the females in terms of their temperament?
No.
They're also sweet.
Oh, very.
Good-natured, and you can play with them.
And here's my favorite, Jeffrey. She is the sweetest pig one could possibly meet, Susie.
Susie, come here, Susie. Susie.
What made this experience so special for Jeffrey was learning from Kim about Val and Susie's history. If not for Animal Place, their lives would be different indeed. In fact, they wouldn't be alive at all.
Little Susie and Valerie were pigs that were born inside a research laboratory. A cage is all they knew. You have to understand that these little pigs had never been outside. They had never felt the sunshine on them. They had never had the ground to root in. They'd never had grass. They had always lived their entire life inside a little cage measuring probably 4 feet square. That was their existence. They came to Animal Place and were a bit in shock because there were all these other animal sounds and they all of a sudden had freedom. They could do whatever they wanted to do. They arrived during the summer months, and I quickly found that one of the things they love to do is to be cooled off when it gets too hot. People come here for tours and they think, gosh, what lucky animals. Well, I see it the other way around. I mean, I feel so fortunate that I'm allowed to take care of them. I'm allowed to be in their company, that I can be with them every day and interact with them. It doesn't get much better than that, to know you saved their life and ensure that the remainder of their life is going to be good.
Ned Bukmacha is a veterinarian who, with Kim, co-founded Animal Place. Considering how their lives began, and for the fact that they were destined from birth for the slaughterhouse, the cows at Animal Place have learned from Kim and Ned that some humans can be trusted, although that trust has taken years to develop and must be reinforced practically every day.
Jessie's story is one of these that you would think is made up. She was about a month old, and she was in Colorado and was being trucked to auction to be sold for slaughter, and she jumped out of the truck when the truck was going down the freeway, and she shattered her left hind leg. You can see how badly deformed it is, and she was just lying there badly bruised and in really bad shape. And two people who were coming to visit Animal Place, Gene and Laurie Boston, happened to be on the freeway behind this truck.
Oh my God.
You could just, unbelievable. And they see this little black form on the highway, and they stopped, and the farmer had stopped, of course, and the farmer did not want Jessie because she was no longer valuable to him because she couldn't be sold. She had a fractured leg, she was down, she couldn't stand up. And so he gave her to Gene and Laurie, who brought her to Animal Place. We took Jessie into my university hospital and radiographed her leg. It was very badly fractured, beyond surgical repair. And in fact, my colleagues said we should kill her.